All right, take a seat. Thank you. So you're praying? Sita, come, let's offer a word of prayer this afternoon.
Pleasant good afternoon to one and all. If you're standing, let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, gracious God, I want to thank you for bringing us to this proceeding today as we are about to discuss the business of the people. I ask that you bless today's proceedings, that whatever words flow from our mouths, let it not fall on deaf ears. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen indeed, amen indeed. And the only thing missing from today is that you didn't give me a caravan shirt or one like Chet. So I need one like Chet the next time, okay? That particular one. And if you can fit, sir, yeah, make it fit. No problem. But folks, remember that we're here today because the Barbuda Local Council election is on the 26th of March, and that will be at the Holy Trinity School, and polls open at 6 p.m. And just a quick reminder for some folks who might say, oh, this and all that. 6 a.m., sorry, 6 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. Yeah. I not ever close, okay, no problem. But we are here today to bring to you some candidates who are ready to lead alongside the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. And just to remind you about some things that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party accomplished here in Barbuda, we brought you the Barbuda International Airport, PLH Ocean Club and Golf Course, world-renowned Noble Hotel, we know about this, a meaningful employment for the Barbudans and Antiguans. And then we're working on the Lewis Hill Housing Project to commence shortly. And then you got to look forward to the brand new cargo airport facility. So first, let me say good afternoon and welcome to some of our distinguished guests and friends. Let's recognize the presence of the General Secretary of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, that's Senator the Honorable Mary Claire Hurst, and also the big man himself, Chet, Mr. Green, the Honorable Chet Green. Remember, I need that shirt. So when we finish, we'll talk. No problem. All right, so we have loaded entertainment and other things. We have 3-cylinder. We have Governor here to sing for y'all and so forth. But first, we're introducing the candidates today. And let me tell you about... Mr. Green, you need it on stage, sir. Step over here. Just step over this. That's what I said. Yeah. Yeah, I realize your talk, right? But the business at hand first, okay? After that, how do we do? What size shirt that be, sir? Oh, what size shirt you have on it? Oh, good, right size. As soon as it done. So, Bob, I know y'all can hear our voices. And this afternoon, our first speaker has worked across multiple sectors, gaining first-hand experience in challenges and opportunities facing Barbuda. His early role at Barbuda Fisheries and Sandco instilled in him a strong work ethic, which he carried out in the service of the Antigua and Barbuda Royal Police Force. And during his tenure, he developed a strong sense of duty, discipline, and leadership, and the skills that continue to define him as we approach his service is what we're looking for today. Recognizing the need for local employment opportunities, he took the initiative to establish a security company in Barbuda, ensuring that all employees were Barbudans, and that demonstrates his commitment to economic empowerment and community advancement. Then furthered his expertise. He pursued a specialized training in forensics in London, equipping himself with investigative and analytical skills that add value to his leadership. Barbuda deserves leadership that delivers. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Bernard Alexander Christian, and he's ready to lead the way.
Come on, everybody, get your feet happy. Let's go, come on.
Good afternoon, everybody. I didn't hear that. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. Let me start by acknowledging Comrade Chairman, also acknowledging GS, acknowledging Senator Naxinta Hurst, and all of my fellow speakers. Sorry. Ned Charles, sorry. And also to acknowledge my fellow speakers. Well, let me start by saying I want to give thanks to the Almighty for keeping me over the years to bringing me to this point in my life. It's like, we've had our trials, and most people in my generation in Barbuda know what life was for me, but through the grace of God, I made it this far. So I want to say thanks for bringing me this far, the Almighty. Let me start by also giving a brief introduction of myself for those who might not know who is standing before you today. I am Bernard Christian, as earlier announced, a son of the soil, belonging to Aristine, Jack, and Big Boy Christian. And also, I was told earlier today that my grandfather, Joseph Christian, was actually a politician as well. So I guess I'm supposed to fulfill the mantle. So that's just a brief introduction of myself. And, I really feel elated to stand here today because working alongside the Honorable Prime Minister, I do all the work in the background, help people however I can. But for some reason, I always tell myself, I can do more. And that brought me to where I am today. Now, I might not be living here presently, but I'm in Barbuda every week, and I know what's going on. And I got to say, say that we're in 2025, I'm really disappointed with where the present council of us. Right? And Barbudans, whenever you come to me in Antigua and I offer my assistance, I never ask you who you belong to or what party you support. I look at everybody as a Barbudan. And because of the fact that I know that we should be more ahead than where we are today, I always make sure I open my doors to grant that for all Barbudans. And I got to say, I guess all that was leading up to this moment, because some people have been on radio programs, I've always aired my views, but today is the day when I decided to put my hat in the ring, as they love to say in the political arena, and make sure that I represent from the front. Now, some of the issues that I want to talk about is the failure of the BPM. And as I tell my comrades already, I don't come on a platform to waste time and try to talk down or cuss out nobody. My time is to tell you the issues and to bring the solutions. That's what I'm all about. That's what I'm going to be about. And the issues that I have with the present BPM Council is complete failure. To touch on a few things, failing the youths. And that's a big thing for me. Because I have to say, growing up in Barbuda, for me, was an honorable thing and a great thing. You had a sense of safety. You had a sense of fun, and your parents never really had to look for you or wonder, what you're up to. Because once you hear the street light come on, majority of us are in our house once it's a school night, and on the weekend, you go to basketball court, and that's where you'll find everybody. And to say a simple thing like that, BPM Council can't even present. Now, I'm looking at when I'm here during the week, and it's like the youth's been crying out, they need sports. I know for a fact that a lot of talent is hidden right here in Barbuda. We have players now overseas, all in Spain, in the US, and that's just a tip of the iceberg. Because I know if they were getting the exposure and they were getting all the tools to do the necessary work, I'm sure we would have been on a grand stage a long time ago. But at the end of the day, the BPM don't care about that. And I find it strange because every time they're obstructing to something, they're saying that they care about Barbudans. Every time they go do some kind of work, it's, oh, we're protecting it for Barbudans. We're protecting it for Barbudans. So I wonder if they have two sets of Barbudans. Because which Barbudan is benefiting from these protection that they're trying to protect, right? And another thing that I have a problem with is also the health structure. Because I don't see why in this day and age that we should have to go to Antigua for everything. Now we have investors on the land. They're here. They got in, they're here by the law, so they're going to be with us. Rather than fighting them and putting up all kind of resistance, why not try to make a relationship with them and let their money work for us? Let their money work for us. It's like, I know these people would love to know that whenever they come here for their holidays and they bring their kids or they bring their friends, they would like to know the first media of health would be able to tackle simple things. But no, they take the time to fight, rise up and block this and block that. And having conversations with the president for PLH is like he's telling them they're wasting time, because we've had proof where letters were sent to them asking them for a union to work in cohesions, and all they say is no, fine, we're good. So I don't understand where and how they expect us to get anywhere. Now I want to say also that one of my plans is to work along with PLH, because I have to say that since PLH has been on the ground, prior to PLH, we had an issue with council not being able to pay everybody, and we also had an issue where the entrepreneurship on the Barbuda was minimal. Since PLH came into succession, we've had a rise in entrepreneurship. They've actually opened the door to help Barbudans to be able to start their own business. And I know we as Barbudans are very proud people. Very, very proud. If we can buy everything by cash, we buy it by cash. Because we don't like old people. So I know for a fact that having PLH here was maybe a godsend. And they came in the right time too, because look, a pandemic came after. And if PLH wasn't here, God knows what happened to Barbuda when COVID had hit. Because here it is, they put something in place where people could have still getting paid while the pandemic was going on. And you tell me we have a council and an MP who knows better, choose not to do better, and a council where anytime somebody tried to step forward and said, let's do something good for the people of Barbuda. Oh, fine, no, we're good, we're good. And it seems like they don't even care about themselves. Because I'm looking at how they're transitioning in life as well, and they're still, I don't know if they're comfortable with where they are, but I know for a fact, now that Barbudans are getting the chance to go abroad and see how life is outside of the Caribbean, I know we cannot be happy with where we are today, right? Irma hit us in 2017. I'm looking around, and it seemed like Irma just hit us yesterday. The village should not be looking like this. And I have to say that I know that the means are there to get things done. It's just that the council refuse to make the most of it. So people, I'm telling you, and now you may ask, what's the difference? Every council election, candidates come and say the same thing, but I have to say for myself and for this team that working in the background, because at the end of the day, I could have been selfish and say, let me stay in the background, do what I can, and leave Barbuda unto itself. But now, I am a born, I am a love, I am a live. So at the end of the day, I want to see my brothers and sisters making it to the top. I want to be able to see, when we're in New York, I'm going to look to my side, I'm see Barbuda and happy, not have to worry about his next paycheck, or you have to watch how he's spending money, because no, Me want a Barbuda next to me have fun just like me. Hence the reason why I'm here to make a difference. I'm going back to the point. You ask, what's the difference this time? I want to believe working alongside the Honorable Prime Minister for so long has taught me a few things. And one of the few things I got to say is, he always used to tell me, whenever you get a chance to be around those who are wealthy, don't beg them for handouts. Build relationships. Because once you hear you get a person to trust you, and you have a loyal relationship with that person, you'll be surprised how much you can get done from that relationship. And so I just got to say, the investors, they're here. Let us make use of them. Let us take whatever they're willing to give and bring Barbuda to the point where it needs to be. So, comrades, on the 26th, we have the 5, myself, Makisha D'Souza, Orlando Morris, Bonita John, and Sir Arthur Nibbs. Give us that chance. Give us that chance. And when the time comes, you will see the difference. It's not just a promise in the sky, because like I said, working alongside the Honorable Prime Minister has brought me to a point where he likes to promise made, promise kept. That's our motto. And we intend to continue to do that until the time comes where Barbuda is bigger and better and able to provide for itself. I thank you, and that's all until I come again.
Comrade Bernard Christian. All right, first, let me acknowledge the folks who are watching on the live right now, via the live. Good afternoon to you and yours. And you know, we're just launching our candidates over here for the Barbuda Council. Now, our second speaker, this is the land of her birth, and it is here she wishes to continue to fulfill God's calling to serve. She's a political and community activist. She was a volunteer of the Antigua and Barbuda Red Cross and also a member of the devotional group, which is an outreach group that assists the vulnerable families and persons in the community. She also sits on the Princess Foundation Committee, and she's also presently employed by the Ministry of Barbuda Affairs. And her place of worship in Barbuda is the Pentecost Church. And she strongly believes in female empowerment and leadership. And she also believes in development, empowerment, and advancement of the island and people and nations. Let's welcome Comrade Makisha D'Souza.
Blessings, Barbuda. Blessings to one and all. Well, all of you know that I am no stranger to this political arena. I won my seat in 2017, and I served successfully on the Barbuda Council for 4 years. Comrades and friends, I'm Makisha D'Souza. I stand here today as a proud member and candidate of the great political institution, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Today, we present ourselves as the best potential leaders to represent your best interests on Barbuda. And as the previous candidate said before, there are many failures in Barbuda. There are many things that we think that we can do better than the BPM Council. We are not about sitting in offices, not doing anything, opposing every single project that the central government brings to this island. We are not about that. We are about a better living for the people of Barbuda. We are driven by vision, and we are driven by development and a prosperity that started many years ago. And it is being manifested in our small island. We believe in sustainable development. We also believe in empowerment of our people. Now we know that we have two major projects right here in Barbuda, and that is the PLH project and the Paradise Found project, in which Barbudans are able to upgrade their standard of living by obtaining jobs. That was one of our goals. That was one of our goals. That was a goal of the past Honorable Member Arthur Nibbs and the past Council ABLP members. They had a vision for Barbuda. We just didn't want to see things just going around in circles. We wanted a change. And in any type of change that you can bring to an island, it must start with development, because there is where the finance and the money comes in. To date, we have over 200 Barbudans employed by both projects. And one of the things that we strongly believe in, we believe in entrepreneurship. And right now, we have some Barbudans that are spearheading entrepreneurship through this project. We have Mr. Andre Lee. He is doing very well. And, you know, he's just thriving. He has apartments. He has a restaurant. And he has homes as well. And I, as a Barbudan, I am very, very proud of this young man. We also have Mr. Ted Thomas, who runs a thriving transportation service. And these are just two of the many Barbudans that we want to see thrive. Why should we just sit and work for the Barbuda Council and then that is it? There is no upward mobility right there. So that is where development comes in. I have had conversations with many young Barbudans, and I said to them, I said, listen, these projects are here in Barbuda. You got to take the initiative. You got to take charge of your life. You have to be a part of this progress. I am yet to hear of a single project brought to Barbuda by the BPM Council to elevate the lives of Barbudans. ABLP promised, and I must tell you, we have delivered. My people to date, ABLP does not occupy one seat on the Barbuda Council. And I might ask, is this the way we want to continue? We all must account for our stewardship. It is our responsibility to demand good leadership. As you look at the five of us today, we want to represent you. We want to stand up for what is right. Development is what drives any economy. A people cannot flourish without economic growth. I want to touch on something that is very dear to my heart. I want to touch on health. I want to touch on the previous situation at the Barbuda landfill. I don't know how much of you have had the privilege to drive up there or just to take a look at what's going on up there. And I'm telling you, it's in an awful situation. I remember when I sat as the chair of the health committee under the leadership and chairmanship of Senator Naxinta Ned, we had a comprehensive plan to upgrade that landfill into something modern. Not what they're doing up there now. Every now and then they're pushing up the garbage. The garbage has nowhere to go. We don't want something to break out in Barbuda. We don't want to have a health crisis. Sometimes people's garbages are not even being taken up on time. And all of these things we need to look at. We need to ask ourselves, Is this the representation that we want? Is this the representation that we're going forward with in 2025? I want y'all to look at this upcoming council election. It is very important. There are 5 seats that are up for grabs. And we're admonishing you, please, you deserve better representation. I admonish you to go down there, to consider the candidates of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Give us a chance to represent you in the best way that we can. So I just want to say, comrades and friends, on March the 26th, vote the Dynamic 5. Both Bernard Christian, Makisha D'Souza, Arthur Nibbs, Orlando Morris, and also Bonita D'Souza. Be a part of the progress and be a part of change. I thank you.
Prodigal son.
Yes, thank you, Makisha. And that is so right, the Dynamic 5. But let's get ready for our third speaker. And in 2005, she decided that she wanted to be in a profession that helps people and add value to their lives. She took that bold step and became a member of the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda. She has been in the law enforcement for over 19 years. Being part of that organization also molded her to serve and protect her people, especially those in Barbuda. She believes that it is her duty to serve people with pride and dignity, and her entire adult life began with serving the community and the people of this nation. In the past, she has worked along with representatives of Parliament, such as Mr. Arthur Nibbs, who's here with us today, and Senator the Honorable Nasinta Ned Charles. And while in the police force, she has learned the value of organizational discipline and attention to detail. Now she's ready. She is ready. So let us welcome Bonita Jan D'Souza. D'Souza.
Prodigal son. She's the mighty.
Jesus bigger than what people say.
We are bigger than that.
Jesus bigger than what people say.
Unfathomable.
I hear them talking.
They don't have a clue.
Them running up your mouth. But you're bigger than what people say.
Glory to your name, God.
Hallelujah. Magnificent God.
Just name mega magnificent.
Dragon big God.
Well, good afternoon, comrades and friends. I am no stranger to no one here today. Well, the others have explained what investments and others would have been to Barbuda. But I am here to let people know I am a people's person and I have nothing but love for this nation of Antigua and Barbuda. Questions been asked. Are you going to give up your 20 years of service just to come and be a part of the council? And my answer is yes. Being a part of the police force, whenever I get my time off, I will still come to Barbuda and organize a cleanup campaign because I'm a people's person. I'm a lover of Barbuda. Also, I will put things together for sports and activities. I am all about love and togetherness. Well, the first person I am telling you who I approach to ask for their supporters, the people may laugh about it, is Devon Warner. Also, whenever I saw the Honorable Trevor Walker, I'll tell him, I need your support, and then he will give me a big smile. Because I am all about like bringing people together. I am here to let you all know what are my plans. My plan is, as every time I came to Barbuda, after walking on the streets, I see a lot of young girls and young boys just loitering around the place, have nothing to do with their lives even after school. My plan is to build a youth skill in Barbuda, so that whenever the children, when they're finished from school, they have something to do. Also, the health in facilities. it always upset in my stomach to see whenever somebody to go down to the hospital to do a blood test or anything, they have to go over to Antigua. It is a burning shame. I don't like that at all. You know, the expense is too much. Also in the school, whenever I'm here, I will take a visit to the school and I will see, you know, the school is lack of like a water fountain, you know, the kids' comfort. There's no fan and all these things there. I wish to bring these things here to upgrade the school also in Barbuda. More so, when I was working as a police officer, that was in 2007, I was here working as a police officer. It always upsetting for me to see all those young people on the street causing problem and I have to lock them up and take them before the magistrate. Reason being because there's nothing for them to do here in Barbuda. So I take it up on my own. I approach George Burton, may his soul rest in peace. I asked him about the piece of property in the western side for him. He said it is a park for it's a sports complex park. So I took my money out of my pocket and I pay an individual to clear the whole area to start a football field down there. I then went over to Antigua, get in contact with FIFA, and I asked them to assist me with some football gears for the kids in Barbuda, for the people in Barbuda, and it was successful. Up to today, I must say, thanks to Jermaine Joyce, who worked along with me and who I push and I push and I push until he gets where he's at today. All right? Secondly, when I must say, Comrade Mabel Francis, when I was here, I went and I approached her. I told her I need her assistance with cleaning the village. She was the secretary at that time. She told me, no problem. So I went and I purchased some diesel and I get 2 workmen and I start my cleanup campaign. That is when as a police officer. But now I intend to take a bold step to come back and better Barbuda. So I am telling you all to give myself and the 4 others a chance to push Barbuda forward. I am telling you that is my intention. Questions been asked. Are you not a Christian? What are you doing on a platform? I said the good Lord have King David and King Solomon and all these guys in the Bible. Well, I am Queen David and Queen Solomon who is going to push Barbuda and lead the people in the right direction. That's the answer to their questions. And what I would like to see in Barbuda, we stop playing politics and having hatreds in our home, even in the church. Let us come together as one, show love to each other, and move this nation of Antigua and Barbuda forward. Move the nation of Antigua and Barbuda forward. I love to see love, peace, and unity. So come in March on the 26th. I urge you to go down and vote for none other than yours truly, Bonita John, the Honorable Orton Nibbs, Bernard Christians, Orlando Morris, and Makisha D'Souza on election day. Vote no other way than the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party on that day.
Hey, now give her a round of applause again, man, fellas. Come on. Yes, I love that. Development, that's what we're talking about. Safer with labor. Let's get ready for our next speaker now. When leadership matters, he has always delivered. He's a graduate of both the Holy Trinity Primary and Secondary School and also a graduate of the ABIT Abbott with a degree in network engineering. His work experience include cable and wireless, and he's a technician in Barbuda. He also taught at the Holy Trinity School, Information Technology, Mathematics, English B, and the Health and Family Life Education. He worked for the Barbuda Council as a secretary or the head of department for the following departments: Fisheries, Marine and Coastal Development, Sports Culture and Youth Affairs, Health, Disaster and Social Welfare, and also as the Public Relation Officer. His advice to each and every voter: The BPM Council has never delivered a single development project. On the other hand, ABLP Council, in unity with the ABLP government, will deliver over $1 billion in sustainable development to the people of Barbuda. Barbuda, we are safer with labor. Please welcome Orlando Morris.
You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear.
All right. Hello, Mr. DJ. Yeah, take away from my talking tongue. All right, good afternoon, comrades and friends. All right, we're into the heavy hitter segment. And I want to remind you, and the people of Bobby, you know that every time I speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I want to welcome each and every one of you this afternoon to our launch. When leadership matters, you can count on the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. With the protocols observed, let me welcome Mr. Minister, Mr. Chet Green, the GS, Senator Ned Charles, and Senator George, and my good friend from St. Irma. Hi, Sam, how are you? Oh, Newton, okay, all right. Comrades and friends, we must vote the ABLP. When I look at the health situation, I could remember in 2014 and 2013, before the Labour Party took the reins of government in this country, the health sector was dismantled. Hospital could not receive medication. And we skillfully negotiated. We sat down with the providers. And the negotiations that we did then is still standing up to today. Promise made, promise kept. I could remember when the Honorable Prime Minister in opposition assisted us. The ABLP Council was in a raise of 23 weeks of wages to the workers of Barbuda. Lest we forget, it was the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party Council in collaboration with the ALP government that bailed the people of Barbuda out. We told you that we would have brought investors to this country and we would have taken out the burden off of the Barbuda Council when it comes to wages and salary. Promise made, promise kept. On the alternatives, we brought over $1 billion of development and investment to this country. And we can tell you, BPM has brought zero. And today, I put out a challenge to any member of the BPM Council. Organize a public meeting so that we can have a public forum. Discuss the topics amongst yourself and give me enough time to get there. And let's have a debate. Let's have a debate. We have facts on our side. We have productivity on our side. We have persons who will deliver for you. When I look at sports, we made sure that the national team was represented. Barbuda teams left Barbuda year after year. Where are those teams now? The BPM has failed you, the youths and sports lovers of this country. When I look at the landfill, this area designated for continuation, the reason that I would want to wait, I have to see how high they go carry hill. We have the highest heap of garbage of any country in the world. And soon from now, one plane might even crash in a rum. How you go so high? But if you want that to change, you must vote for this team. You must vote for the ABLP 5. You must vote for Comrade Makisha D'Souza, Bonita John, Bernard Christian, Arthur Nibbs, and yours truly. there are two questions should be paramount in this election. Why should I vote for the persons who are putting up themselves to be elected? And what is it that you will do for this country that will enhance my life? I'm no stranger to what I have done, and all of you can testify. I've had great students, and some of them watch me now. You know, Miguel one. At times, we just have to give them little lines for bring them on track. Maverick can tell you too. He knows about Pepsi 500 and stuff like that. It was my way of streamlining the future generation. Have made my contributions. And some of them have done nothing for this country. I'm one of few people in the whole world who have trained their supervisor to supervise them. I used to teach my supervisor how to supervise me. That's how giving and caring I am. So you must vote for these persons. When we look at the agriculture sector, I remember when Nibs brought Ross and them over. And the first time he fall out, he sent one tractor for plow. And he said in 2 months, send him back. Every time he called me, no answer. And today the tractor is still here. Under the Barbuda Council, the tractor is still here. We had the plantation, the coconut and peanut plantation going. Now it's dead. We told you that when PLH and Nubu come on stream, that we will alleviate the workload of the council. We had in excess of 700 plus workers. The Barbuda Council was the #1 employer of persons, and that was not sustainable. You can't tax the people for pay them wages. Mathematically, it's not good. So we brought investors, and we told them, your mandate is to take all our workers, and they agreed. And I said I must give an applause to PLH and Nubu and all the other investors and Doc and those guys that we brought. We told you that in years to come, that just from the ABST alone, from the pre-LH project, would accumulate in excess of $5 million. And the Barbuda Council will be able to pay its workers without depending on the transfer grant from government, that we would have made this country an economic powerhouse. Yes. Promise made, promise kept. Today the Barbuda Council has so much money, then shove their hand in there till you reach their shoulder. And they're playing politics now with the back pay. So I'm telling you people who didn't get your back pay, now ask them, when we win, you're going to get them. You're going to get it. And if they give you Monday, it's because me tell them for them. So if you get them Monday, vote me. But done a work. Done a work. Comrades and friends, short of time. I didn't even get time to touch on the works department. They have done nothing as it relates to repairs of roads and government buildings, which is a responsibility of the Barbuda Council. I could remember when we had the fisheries up and running, exporting left, right, and center. Today, Barbuda fishermen have dwindled. They're only allowed to sell their produce only to Antigua, and it's a sad state. And I'm saying to you, once we are re-elected, once the ABLB Council is re-elected to the reins of governance in this country, we will sit down with the government and those persons from the European Union and make sure that Barbuda continue to export our sea product back into the European Union. And I'm telling the young people, I'm ashamed for the BPM councillors. I can't even believe that we have councillors going around and telling young people, you don't want a home. That you don't want a home. My push to you, the young Barbudans. As speakers before me said their plan. Well, I'm telling you, our plan, this team's plan, is to make certain that each and every young Barbudan, and even the old ones, able to own your own home. You will be kings and queens in this, our paradise. And for that to be fulfilled, you must vote for the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party 5. And when you would have done that, you would have done yourself and your country justice. So on the 26th of March, you must vote for Arthur Nibs, Bernard Christian, Bonita John, Makisha D'Souza, and yours truly, a.k.a. Leave It to Beaver. And you would have done yourself justice. Until I come again, may God be with each and every one of you and the nation of Antigua and Barbuda. Thank you.
That is what we're talking about. Give it up for Leave It to Beaver once again. Oh, man. Folks, let's continue because he's no stranger to the microphones. And we're talking Arthur Nibs. He's an experienced public servant with a distinguished career in governance and leadership. His service to the people of Barbuda spans decades, beginning in 1979. That's what, 46 years now, Arthur? So you go. He was first elected to the Barbuda Council then. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated unwavering commitment to the development of Barbuda through various leadership roles. He's also a visionary leader dedicated to foster progress, sustainability, and equity in Barbuda. His vast experience, coupled with a proven track record of effective governance, position him as a strong candidate for the upcoming Barbuda Council election. Please welcome no stranger, Comrade Arthur Nibs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, the Honorable Chet Green, who's also the Minister of Barbuda Affairs, Comrade Naxinta Ned, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Barbuda Affairs, with special responsibility for Barbuda, other distinguished government officials like Senator Lamin Newton and others, or distinguished GS of this great institution, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, Mary Claire Harris. A good welcome to you, my dear sister. Comrades and friends, fellow Barbudans. Well, this afternoon, I'm not going to attempt to go into the things that we're going to do, because my colleagues have already given you a touch of that. But I just want to use my time just for a little political history, because I count myself to be an authority when it refers to the Barbuda Council. The council was instituted since 48 years ago. Would you believe that? Older than independence. But once you think of that, just look around now, my dear people. Look around Barbuda. The village look weary. The village look tired. So who's to blame? Under the Barbuda Local Government Act that was passed in 1976, this Barbuda is subject to the jurisdiction of the council. And that is what Walker and them use when they want to show that they're in charge of land, you know. But they read the law just halfway. They didn't go down to show you that is not complete jurisdiction. And that is deception. When you read something to somebody, you give them the whole thing and let them make their judgment. So once the island is subject to the jurisdiction of the council, it goes on to tell you according to the provisions of the powers laid down in the Act. So if you get a little chance, my brethren, my sisters and brothers, comrades and friends, let somebody read Section 18 of the Barbuda Local Government Act to you, and you will see all the responsibilities and duties of the council. And it's everything that you see failing, those are the duties of the Barbuda Council, not the government. Within the Act, there's separation of powers. There are duties and functions of the council,
and their duties and functions of the central government. So to let the people believe that the government has nothing to do with Barbuda, that is deception, misleading, and it is not the truth. So my dear people, you just look at the history, 48 years, you know. Council responsible for health. They're responsible for the maintenance and improvement of roads. They're responsible to raise and collect revenue so that they can have money to pay for the services. But all them do is collect, then a raise. You see, I tell you that they always do things in part. The law says I must raise and collect. All them do sit down with their hand in their lap and collect. The millions of dollars they're boasting about now is the central government forego their legal responsibility because the ABST is a central government tax. And the gospel that you all make out to be such a demon. The government gives the council the right and the authority to collect ABST right here at source and keep the money. But you got to account for it now. Because before, when it does do the right thing, but 1735 is still 1735. I'm not saying nobody going there, you know. That is just an institution that comes into play. So my dear people, what this is all about now then, change. In life, you don't reward people when they fail. You reward people when they would have advanced and made achievements. They've done something good, so they would receive a reward. So here is my question, my dear fellow people, voters of Barbuda. Why will you still continue to vote for a BPM council who has done nothing else but fail you? Here is the challenge I put to all of you. Give us an opportunity. Not going to say chance. You got a word chance, kind of funny. Give us the opportunity to get this first 5 in there. So we'll bring the bracers closer. It will be 6-5. And this 5 are more powerful 5. Because in that 6, you have senator and representative who can go anyway. They were not really elected straight onto the council. So read the maths. When you give us that 5, that will be a very dynamic 5. And we will sit at the table. As the Bible says, come let us reason together. You hear? And one with another and with everyone too. Under the scripture, there's a time and place for everything under the sun. So it is time to change the BPM. What are you going to continue to vote for them for? I started on the path and beginning to get the name that the father of modern Barbuda. And we've started. We've started. It's billions of dollars down there. You understand? People working. You know, I walk around a little brown envelope sometime when we do the whole lot council. I see you go, Francis, so you pull out a little brown envelope. And that a little change where they get after waiting for 20-something weeks, you know. When Orlando brought that point, that is factual, because I remember Social Security even threatened to stop recognizing the ladies after they have their children and so. You know, I can get their benefit. You know why? Because the Barbuda Council take the money out of your pay packet and never sent it to Social Security. 12 million broad dollar note. And it's the same Gaston Brown government, man. This is a government that cared. And when we went to the government, they talked to Social Security. And we were given a payment plan. And we don't know if they pay off yet because you know they're funny down there. So anyway, time running out. Always saying to Barbudans, this particular council election, approach it differently. Now make nobody bring no Spanish station and funny recitation. This is about finding the best persons to go onto that Barbuda Council and sit at the table with government, any government, blue, yellow, pink, red, green. We will sit and dialogue on behalf of the people. So the warrior, I'm still here to bring up the rear. And we want to take over the council, man, because they have been embarrassing us too much. Everything in shambles, health bad, road bad, everything bad. So you, the people now, the choice is yours. And biblical again, why halt ye between two opinions? If God is God, serve God, and there's no ifs about God. God is God. But BPM, you put them to the test, they've failed. And you should not reward people for failing. So when you go down there on the 26th, and you're going to hear much more from us, and we made the plan and promise, we are going to come with issues, plans, and programs. No time to go down and waste time. So make sure when you vote, you're going to vote for Makisha D'Souza, Bonita John D'Souza, Orlando Morris, Bernard Christian, boys. See how he come in? He remember that the grandfather of Powerhouse, John Punter and Bernard Christian, then a big name lost come, you know that? In the union. The union make us strong, and them boys does in there. And why you not going to vote for Artie Nibs? When me left high school, I worked 1 year as a traffic controller, and since then, a politics a beat both amongst Barbuda people. So I should at least sorry for me now. And the way I started, that's the way I want to end it. I started with the people in the council, and I'm back again to bring the councilman that Claude Theophilus Francis fights so hard to bring. And I kind of tie and I take over. Thank you all for listening, and you all hear much more from us as we go along. Progress forever with Labour.
Safer with Labour. Hey, give it up for the Dynamic 5. Getting ready for Barbuda Council election on the 26th of March, right? 6 a.m. polls open at the school, right? All right, and you know where we going? Safer with Labour, right? All the way. Well, folks, before we get to some heavy hitters right now, we have some entertainment for you. And then after the heavy hitters, some more entertainment with 3 Cylinder. So please, welcome Governor Barbuda, the big man himself.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah. Pa 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 dai. Pa 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 dai. Pam pam pa de do. Oh, Barbuda, how things have changed from generation to generation. We did great in your name. All the good that we used to stand for have been eroded by ignorance. For greed, bad-minded and selfishness, we behave like crab in a barrel. Once this country was like a flower, bearing the fruits of a bright future. But now everybody is about me, so to hell with you and the country. This kind of selfish behavior will only come to backfire. So at the end of the day, it will get us nowhere. So from such behavior, refrain. Cause it is home, home for you and me. Let us share. Everyone should get a piece. Be patriotic and not be greedy. Barbuda for you and for me, it's the home, home that I want to see. Home benefiting everybody. So in spite of your political persuasion, no matter where I'll Barbudans. Da 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 da. Pa pam 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 pa dai. Dum 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 dum. Let us stop the fussing and fighting. Let us stop the segregation. When you stop and check, we are related in some way or the other. Let us come together for our country. Let us do it for Barbuda. And our country will move forward, and its citizens will prosper. Our country has so much to offer, so let us look at the big picture. We can all achieve, we can all succeed. And this, my friend, you will agree. So never disenfranchise our people. Instead, let us empower the local man who born right here. More power to all Barbudans, cause it is home. Home for you and me, let us share. Everyone should get a piece, be patriotic and not be greedy. Barbuda for you and for me, it's the home. Home that I want to see. Home benefiting everybody, so in spite of your political persuasion, no matter where all Barbudans. Adubi dum dum. Ba bam pam pam padai. Adubi dum dum dum. We have no gold, neither diamond. We don't have oil or copper. All we have is Barbuda and the best beaches in the Caribbean. So let us welcome foreign investors. Let us welcome their business. We need to use our resources to accomplish the things that we need. One hand can wash the other. Exchange is no robbery. We need new jobs and need to build up an non-existent economy. We need to build a new seaport to accommodate cruise ships and ferries. We need to build a new airport, complete with port of entry. Cause it is home, home for you and me, let us share. Everyone should get a piece, be patriotic and not be greedy. Barbuda for you and for me, it's the home, home that I want to see. Home, benefiting everybody, so in spite of your political persuasion, no matter where all Barbudans. Adubi dum dum. Ba bam pam pam padai. Do remember, vote for the 5. The 5 for Labour. My first love is for my country, cause charity begins at home. Let us prioritize our thinking. This should be our goal. Barbuda should be our haven, where we can earn a living in any type of industry, entertainment or fishing. Barbudans have so much potential to exceed in anything. So let us put the mechanism in place for our youth to be productive. It's to waste a good talent, so let us help them to make us proud and make Barbuda a household name anywhere on this earth. Cause it is home, home for you and me, let us share. Everyone should get a piece, be patriotic and not be greedy. Barbuda for you and for me, it's the home, home that I want to see. Home, benefiting everybody, so in spite of your political persuasion, no matter where all Barbudans. Thank you.
Labour, the governor, home. No matter your political persuasion, home is still for all Barbudans. Hey, give him a round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me also give special shout out to Nas Entertainment. Big up to you and your team. And to Comrade Carol Weatherhead. I hear about the season, right? So may get that today, right? Okay, good. Plenty pork in there, right? Okay, Barbie the pork? Okay, good. I love that. I love that. No, and over he branded. Okay, good. Now, before we get to Tree Cylinder and all that nice entertainment, we have our next speaker this afternoon, and she's no stranger. She goes by the name of Senator the Honorable Nacinta Ned Charles, and play this song.
Yes, comrades, comrades, women of labor, let me hear you. Comrades and friends of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, y'all always looking good in your red. And I know today is Sunday, you know we don't really come out on Sunday, but I must say, I am pleased to see my people out today. I am happy to see the people of Labour showing their support to our 5 candidates. allow me to adopt all the protocols already established of all the esteemed dignitaries that have decided to come over from Antigua to be here with us today to celebrate the launch of our 5 candidates. And let me tell you, we have a caliber of candidates here today. Talk about experience. Talk about performance. Talk about, as Comrade Murray said, persons who will deliver on your behalf. Not just go down there and take up council seat. Comrades and friends, people of Labour, supporters of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, and even the Barbudans who are here today to hear from your candidates. Because I know that they are persons, we all know how it goes in council elections. And if we can thief 2 from the BPM supporters, we will thief 2. We want you to vote for all 5. But we're happy you're here today to hear from our candidates and what they can deliver to you. And like the good Comrade Artanib said, this is just one of many public events that we plan to have for you to bring the information and the facts to you, the people of Barbuda. So when you go down to the polls on the 26th of March, you can make an informed decision. You don't have to second guess. Gone are the days where you just go down and vote for voting's sake. Vote with a purpose. Comrades and friends, you heard from the man, Bernard Christian. He has told you he has been around this thing for long. He has even been around the honorable members of cabinet. So he has seen the ropes. He understands the ropes. And we all know that he has helped a lot of Barbudans. Even if he's not in Barbuda every day, he still commits to helping the people of Barbuda. And for that, he's deserving of your vote come election day. Comrades and friends, you've heard from Lady Bonita John D'Souza. Can't forget to give you the man name because they're always forgetting me to give me the name I work so hard for. But Comrade Bonita John D'Souza, when you go down on election day, you will see John on the ballot paper. A matter of fact, don't even look for the name. Just look for the symbol and give us all 5. You have heard from her. She has been integrated into Barbuda. We all know she's worked so closely with Papa Smurf, with the children. You heard her. She delivered. And when this young lady speaks, she speaks from her heart. She speaks from her chest. And she doesn't just speak, she does. She has, even before she has had political interests, she has been working with the youths in sports. She has been planning and executing cleanup campaigns. And I can tell you, because she has bothered me on how many occasions, dragged me out of my house, tried to get backhoe from Sandman to clean up. And you can't help but deliver because she's persistent. And that is the kind of person that we want on the Barbuda Council. People that will not just take no, but will push on your behalf. Comrades and friends, Makisha D'Souza, she's no stranger to the political arena. You have heard from her. She has been the chair of the health department. I can attest to it that I have worked closely with Mrs. D'Souza. And I can tell you since 2017, just like Bonita John, Makisha is determined to make a difference in Barbuda. She's caring. And even at times when she decides, look, I'm not running for council, she still ensures that she looks not just for Labour Party people, but for the people of Barbuda. And those of you whose lives she has touched, you know what I'm talking about. She cares. She's interested in your well-being. And you need people like that on the council to work on your behalf. It is time for us to stop putting people on council that doesn't care. And all they're there for, oh, well, the BPM on a winning spree. So we're going to just throw a hat in the ring, come and know me go win, and get on council for collect and paycheck. Now is the time to change that trajectory. It is not working anymore. You tell me, why will you go out and vote for somebody just because you want to get them on council? For do nothing for you? Vote for someone who will make a difference. Look at the caliber of candidates that we have here. You know them. You know them all individually. No one of these candidates on this stage today is a stranger to you. And as you heard Comrade Morris put out the challenge for a debate, when you see them, approach them, ask them questions, hear from them. They're ready, they're willing, and they have offered themselves up for service to you, the people of Barbuda. Comrades and friends, Orlando Morris. Oh boy. We all know he can speak smoke. And we all know he speaks the truth and nothing but the truth. And don't make no jokes about it, yes. If it's one thing about this young man, he has been integrated in the politics in Barbuda for years. He has been involved for years. He has been involved in the PR department of council, the health department, fisheries. He knows the ins and outs of every department of council. He knows how to get the job done. People of Barbuda, it's time for you to give him a chance, because we all know that when he gets in there, he is going to call him out, he's going to speak on your behalf, and he will deliver. Because not only is he a professional, but he's a street man as well. So you don't have to ask if he's going to bring the concerns and the queries of the street man. That is your guy. You need to get him in there to talk on your behalf. And last but not least, the veteran himself, Arthur Shabazz Manor Nibs. Now listen here. We have a set of persons that are on the Labour Party ticket. They have experience. They have vowed to perform for you. But you see, Arthur Nibs, he just broke down the Barbuda Council Act, and I was peeping to see if he was looking on his phone, and we all know you're not that tech savvy. So then I started looking for the paper to see if he's talking from a paper. And then I realized the man has spit clean out of his head. Everything he's saying is what he has here, what he knows, what he lives, what he breathes. He understands the ins and outs, the intricacies of council. So when there's information that they're trying to bamboozle you about, we have somebody with experience that will stand up in council meetings and forums and say, hey, nah, so you go. And I'm not going to sit down here and allow you to abuse the people of Barbuda and mislead. And dare I say, dumb down. Because that is what the BPM Council and Trevor Walker continues to do. They continue to dumb down you, the people of Barbuda, mislead you, and not give you proper information, all in an effort to do what? Make Gaston Brown look bad. And after that, and after it's done, what then? What does that do for you? Does it give you a better living? Barbudans, it is time for us to ask ourselves some real questions, make some real choices that would lead ultimately to your future. And if not your future, think about your children. And I'm going to go further and say, and your children. Don't let them just come and mask it and say, Gaston Brown this, Gaston Brown that. Okay, allow them to say it. Then get beyond the Gaston Brown this and Gaston Brown that. Ask them about them, what they can do for you, what they plan to deliver for you. What have they done for you? One comrade said earlier, all these development projects, and he put out a challenge to any one of them when they have their public meetings. Come and prove him wrong. What development projects has the BPM Council brought to the island of Barbuda? Name one. You can't. People of Barbuda, it is time. And let me tell you, Comrade Nibs broke it down, and I'm just going to summarize it. Right now, you have an 11-member council, 2 of whom are ex officio members. Ex officio means that basically they were just on the council by way of being elected in another election, such as the MP, or appointed, such as the Senator, Fabian Jones. So therefore, if you want to, because right now, let's be honest, Barbuda Council can call a council meeting, and none of you know what's happening in there, because all of them can come out and sing the same tune and tell you this is what it is, and that's never what it was. People of Barbuda, you need to have that equilibrium inside there. You need to have that balance. You need to blend it. You need to have the 5 candidates of Labour inside there, as well as you will still have BPM members inside there, and the Labour Party candidates will hold their foot to the fire. You will know what is taking place inside every single council meeting. We know Orlando mouth big, so you know hush as soon as meeting done, you go on Facebook, we make you know what happened today. And there's nothing wrong with that. Better representation for you. Let me break it down further. We always complaining about SVG and SVG not giving us proper service. But guess what? SVG is the only dominant carrier, aircraft carrier in Barbuda. They don't have no competition. Think about it this way. Think about counseling this way. They don't have no competition inside there. And if you are to elect the ABLP members to go inside there will be competition. You will get a better product because they're going to fight now to deliver on your behalf because they know why Labour Party councillors and then come and show them up and make them look bad. So guess what? Road are clean up. Guess what? You get proper information. Bet you them bring back PRO that they say was redundant and they don't need it. They're going to bring it back because they don't want the Labour Party candidates to come to Madison, go have a public meeting for talk the things. So they're going to run and bring out the information for you. You will get better performance from them just by putting the ABLP 5 on the council to hold their foot to the fire. No, I'm not going to take all day because the councillors, and I'm speaking it into being, would have said their fair share. And like I said, they'll be having a lot of public rallies. They'll be blitzing. They'll be having a nice little social event by Bobo Tree where y'all can come and slam some domino and talk to them, street talk. And they'll be having a lot of informative sessions for you. One of the informative sessions that they will be having is to discuss the hot topic of the day, the Louis Hill project. Now, let me tell you something. I can recall Papa Bird had said something years ago, and Minister can correct me if I'm wrong, when Stanford was building in Antigua. You know what he said? Make them build, because at the end of the day, they can't walk with them. They have to left and right, yeah. But let me tell you something. There is nothing at all wrong with the development that is coming to Louis Hill area. I hear all kind of buffoonery. Chinese man coming to build, millionaire investors gonna build mansions up there, Barbudans not gonna have a say, and I can't wrong the people for wanting to be informed. There is nothing at all wrong with wanting to be informed, and that is why I make myself available to inform the people of Barbuda on the Louis Hill project. And that is why the 5 candidates have vowed to have sensitization seminars to let you, the people, know about that Louis Hill project that is taking place. Plain and simple. You see a figure of 200 homes, and I was speaking to a young lady the other day, and she said, Senator, we want the housing project, you know, because it's not every Barbudan who wants to work 2-3 jobs to build a house, to take 2-3 years to build a house. Some of us would really like to have a house turnkey ready and pay for it with our hard-earned money. But 200 houses is too much. Give me a break. 200 houses is too much. What is the population on Barbuda now? And increasing significantly. What is the population? As a matter of fact, it's not like the 200 homes come in and just drop in Louis Hill one time. Comrades and friends, let me break it down for you quickly. The Louis Hill housing project will comprise of a development project, for that matter of fact, will comprise of 20 homes from the Prince's Foundation. It will comprise of a number of homes from the Steve Morgan Foundation. These two projects, these homes, you don't have to pay for them. These are gifts that these investors are giving to you. This is a continuation from what you saw after Hurricane Irma. For those who were fortunate to get those EU houses, well, there are some people who fall short on the list. There are some who still cannot afford to build back a whole house. And these people have seen it within the goodness of their heart. And let's face it, they have money. They want to invest their money. Why not? And they don't want nothing for it. They just want to ensure that you, the people of Barbuda, and as Comrade Murray says, that you, the kings and queens of Barbuda, have a better standard of living. Come on. How can you refuse something like that? And if you're not sure, ask questions. Ask questions. Be informed. And even before the houses are available, guess what? How going to build them? How they going to build? How are they going to build? You have Barbudan contractors, and I hope when the bidding is open that contractors in Barbuda put out their bid so that you're successful, so that you can empower yourself and you can empower another Barbudan. I have 2 electricians in Barbuda certified who messaged me on Facebook, and I spoke to them, and they were so happy to be informed. And they already asked me where they can put in the bid. This is the type of things that we're bringing to you, the people of Barbuda. Don't just go up there and stand up and block it for blocking's sake. And we all saw the bacchanal, the back and forth. Well, what they wanted to turn into a bacchanal. Because let's be honest, does a school teacher go to school without the book and pencil? Students go to school without book and pencil? Workman go to work without his hammer and nail? Why you expect the police to go and do their duty without their sufficient tools? How can you go up there and want to have a fight with the police when they're just doing their jobs? I guarantee that if those cameras didn't go up there and that fracas didn't go up there to try, and I said fracas, go up there to try and detract you, the people of Barbuda, it would have been a peaceful operation and nobody would have known. Nobody would have known. But they decided, hey, council election coming up, and we have to rile up the people again with this whole land argument. So let us just go up there and deceive and shed crocodile tears and walk with our innocent elderly and our innocent children and take them up there to confuse them before you call on your leaders of council. Mr. Chairman, I know you can hear me because all the sound and rackle your window and come in your living room. I am disappointed in you for trying to deceive the people of Barbuda and telling them you knew nothing about that meeting and nothing about that Louis Hill project. And just like Comrade Morris, I speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I dare you to say otherwise. You sat in that meeting where we discussed homes coming to that area for the people of Barbuda. And then you want to say you didn't know it was Louis Hill? How much place in the Barbuda named Louis Hill? But that's another story for another time. People of Barbuda, Hill or no Hill? Katie Hill, because their argument now is that it's Katie Hill, not Louis Hill. So whichever hill, we're building houses for the people of Barbuda. Yes, we know that Barbudans are proud people. We know that some can do it on their own, but not all want to do it the same way. So if I want to have a rent-to-own situation, if I want to take a gift of a house that I am deserving of because of the hardship that we went through during Irma, somebody want to give me a gift, I am not going to refuse it. If you don't want it for you, allow somebody else, let them take it. And that is all I will say on the Louis Hill development for now. People of Barbuda, like I said, I won't be long. We have the road infrastructure coming. We have the PLH Hotel. There is so much that can be said about that. And I'm sure if not all, most of you here working for PLH, so that speaks for itself. We even have councillors working at PLH. And nothing wrong with that because everybody have yam, right? We have, for the first time, a world-renowned brand restaurant, the Nobu restaurant. Now tell me, in beautiful Barbuda, most of us that follow on TikTok, we always see the videos. And it makes us proud to have a product like that in Barbuda. And there are many more to come. You just have to ensure that you vote the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party so we can continue to have that synergy with the central government to bring the projects to Barbuda for you, the people of Barbuda. And whenever the Prime Minister says Barbuda is a diamond in a rough waiting to be polished, I don't know how some people can get defensive for that. What is wrong with that? I mean, Comrade Makish, if your husband tell you you're a diamond in the rough and I want to polish you, you would feel offended for that? No, so how can you feel offended for something like that? And I can tell you, and I hope you don't get mad at me for this, the Prime Minister wants to retire in Barbuda. So why you wouldn't want to have to retire in a place that is like a diamond? Why you wouldn't want to refine some place where you're going to retire? Perfect place to be. People of Barbuda, when you see these development projects come in, you must boast about it. You must own it. You must feel proud about it. People of Barbuda, the airport, you must feel proud about that. Come on, I heard the ignorant talk about land turtle and deer. Come, I'll leave that to the councillors to speak on. And you know, last thing from me, I don't want to be a hypocrite, and I heard some of my comrades speak on, well, almost all of them touch on the health situation in Barbuda. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite and act as if nothing tal good ever happened in health since the passage of Hurricane Irma. I mean, I wish to, on behalf of myself and the platform, thank the Indian government for helping us to refurbish the hospital and all the good that they have done for that hospital. But the facts are the facts. And my colleagues have said it. If any one of you have not been to that area that we call the landfill, although they shouldn't even call it that. Well, in Barbuda, we call it dump site. And I think dump site is a more fitting name than landfill. Because when you say landfill, you have a certain expectancy. Sound too good. So, landfill, rubbish heap. If you are to take a drive up there, it is so embarrassing. It is embarrassing, it is disgusting, and it is not healthy. And let's not talk about when they light that thing of fire or spontaneous combustion takes place. The people that live up in that area, because I can tell you, because I used to live in that area, they have to keep their windows closed. And at certain time of the year, flies coming in your doors like crazy. How can we want to live like that in 2025 and beyond? You have to hold their foot to the fire. And I hear my colleagues at the back saying, they will deal with that. While I was sitting there, a potential comrade messaged me, and he said, we want to hear the plans, what you guys have for the landfill. I don't know if he wasn't listening, but Comrade Makisha said, we had an extensive plan in place. We had landfill experts come in when we had the council to assess the landfill as to how we can revive it. Those plans still exist. They're not obsolete. And we will still implement them. We will implement them. We're not going to sit down and have a shredder rotting up there and close it up in the building and act like it's not there. Millions of dollars spent on a shredder to help the situation up there. But what they do, they fast it up in the building and hope that you, the people of Barbuda, forget about it, stop talking about it. What is there? We cannot continue to have things like this happening in the Barbuda Council and act as if everything is good. We need to hold our councillors, our leaders accountable. You see, like every single thing that Chet Green does, the people in his constituency hold him accountable. Anything that Gaston Brown does, the people in his constituency and in Barbuda, Antigua and Barbuda hold him accountable. You need to be able to do the same thing with your council here on Barbuda. Make them go down there daytime, for those that go, just to collect a paycheck. Come on. It is time. It is time for us to hold them accountable. We want things change on Barbuda. It starts with you. And you make that change on the 26th of March, 2025. When you go down to the polls at the Holy Trinity School at 6 a.m. sharp, and you vote for change. And that change starts with Bernard Christian, Bonita John, Makisha D'Souza, Orlando Morris, and Arthur Nibbs. And when you would have done that, you would have voted for experience. You would have voted for a team that will give you performance. And when they get there, they will ensure that the BPM Council give you performance too. You would have voted for comrades and persons who will deliver on your behalf. We need to take pattern from the other Caribbean islands. When you have a council or a government that don't deliver on your behalf, vote them out and change for your better. And if these 5 go in and they don't perform, then you know what to do, the same thing. Come on, it is time enough. We change the trajectory. Vote for the ABLP 5 for a better Barbuda, because you're safer with Labour all the time, every time. Thank you.
No, we need more round of applause than that, man. Senator, hit everything right on the head. But before we let 3 Cylinder in, we have one big special speaker here, and he's the chairman of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Make some noise right now and welcome the Honorable Chet Green.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you, comrade chairman. Let me pause and very quickly salute, by way of recognition, Senator Mary Claire Hurst, our hard-working GS of the Labour Party. Traveling here today with me, Senator Lamin Newton and Comrade Chanel Imhoff. Of course, this moment is not about us, but rather about the comrades on this platform. I refer to Comrade Bernard Christian, Comrade Makisha D'Souza, Comrade Bonita John D'Souza, of course, Comrade Orlando Morris, and I call him Sir Arthur, the architect of modern Barbuda. I'm proud this afternoon also to bring you greetings, along with an apology from Prime Minister Gaston Brown, who would have liked to be here this evening for this launch, but for reasons unavoidable, is not with us. I'm here today to do one thing and one thing only. That's to endorse the candidates that the Antigua and Barbuda Party are putting up for council election on March 26th. What I like about this afternoon's meeting is the quality of presentations. Every speaker, from Comrade Bernard Christian making his maiden address, Comrade Bonita making a maiden address, through to Comrade Orlando, who we know is the essence of Barbuda. Not to mention my dear comrade, Arthur Nibbs, who is not only a veteran, but I say quintessentially the essence of Barbuda, the father of modern Barbuda. I'm glad today because I don't have to bring the message myself.
The message today comes from right in Codrington. People who live the experience of a failed council. People who offer themselves to serve this country and to ensure that the progress and prosperity that we now enjoy continues. Wasn't so long ago, Prime Minister Gaston Brown, then opposition leader, stood right in his space. And he said, I will, with my team, make Barbuda a diamond. And there's none amongst us today who can refuse or deny that Barbuda, work in progress towards being or becoming a refined diamond national treasure. 99.9% of you here today, either standing before me or within the hearing of my voice, you are working today because of the efforts of the Labour Party. When BPM objected and continues to object even today to the PLH project, we sought the approval of Barbudan people and we never looked back. That was the beginning of things to come. And so today we fast forward to council elections, 26th of March, and we reflect on the tenure of the BPM Council and its failure. And you ask the question, what project or projects have BPM brought to the people of Barbuda for the betterment, for the empowerment, and for the advancement? And they're all saying, never ask a question for which you don't know the answer. And I ask that question because I know the answer. And I know that you know the answer. That BPM has brought zero, zilch, nada, rain to this country. Left to BPM, not one of you be employed at PLH. Left to BPM, not one of you ever seen personal advancements in your lives. And I'm saying to you, much more can be achieved if we elect on the 26th of March 5 Labour Party councillors to join the 6 already there to bring balance, substance, and certainly worth to life and living here on Barbuda. They tell me the plane call and say they're ready for me. But tell the pilot, hold on, man. This is national business. National business. Can't play with this one. Because I stand here today not only as a member of government, but more specifically as minister with responsibility for Barbuda affairs. So I have a vested interest in the advancement and development of Barbuda's people. Very quickly I turn my attention to that which they tried to make mischief of, the Louis Hill project. Under this administration, we negotiated for assistance in home repairs and home building after the passage of Hurricane Irma. The BPM objected. For those who don't know or for those who forget, while Prime Minister Brown and I were in London attending a CARICOM meeting, the MP of Barbuda was busy protesting us trying to get benefits for Barbuda's people. But like the PLH project, we were not deterred. We could have simply said, well, if he's the MP and one of the Barbuda, well, why bother? But that's not our mission. Our mission is one of commitment. Committed to the people of Barbuda and the development of this country, of the Twin Island state of Antigua and Barbuda. When we brought the project to Barbuda, a number of you benefited, your homes destroyed by Hurricane Irma. You had your houses repaired, and some even got spanking new houses. So who are there today to question our commitment to Barbuda's people? Who are there today to second guess when we say Louis Hill will have projects, houses built for the benefit of Barbudans at no cost? Nothing dissimilar to what we did after Irma. We did it once, and we'll do it again. On every occasion the Barbudans want support from this government, we are in the ready. Well, you know, election at a time when electorates are called upon to stifle, suppress, and put away personal gripes, petty partisan politics, and to focus on the bigger picture of national development. I'm not even asking Barbuda in this election on the 26th to look at the national picture. I'm asking to look at Barbuda. Look at Barbuda and its development, Barbuda's advancement. And you cannot deny that this administration, led by Gaston Alfonso Brown, has done this country of Barbuda proud. I can go further and ask those of you old enough who can engage in the benefit of comparison to compare this administration with even former Labour Party administrations, not to mention the worthless UPP with whom BPM is in bed. For 10 years, BPM and UPP run their affairs in this country, Antigua and Barbuda. What did Barbuda get? What were the benefits that accrued to Barbuda? What we see instead now, fast forward 10 years after, is a government coming to office and not only giving support to Barbuda's development, but prioritizing Barbuda's development. Prioritizing Barbuda's development. You think Gaston Brown could not talk to the owners of Nabu and put it somewhere in St. Paul's? That would be easy. You think Gaston Brown could have talked to the developers of PLH and do a project on Antigua? Fort James, somebody says, ready for a project. But we gave a commitment right here at Madison that Antigua's development or Barbuda's development must mirror Antigua's development. And so when you look at what's happening now, we feel a sense of unity. Save and except for the tractors, the confusionists, what you see is a country marching together in lockstep. Development on Barbuda, development on Antigua, development of the people. As Foreign Affairs Minister, I joined the Dominican Republic after Prime Minister Brown came after the hurricane, and we inked the agreement for a brand new school. The money is now in the bank. The money is in the bank. The Dominican Republic has made good on the promise of the government to build a state-of-the-art primary school in Barbuda. And then we can say we are the only government in modern Antigua to have built a modern school in Barbuda. But let me go back to Louis Hill, because that is seemingly the one is having answered their pants and answer all over them. Because they realize that Louis Hill project is about empowerment. They don't want to empower you. The only reason they went to Louis Hill to show off for the police is because council elections coming. Because elections are coming, a sense of distraction, and they decide to take on the police. It's a farcical arrangement pretending that they love Barbuda. If you love Barbuda, let's look at the Barbuda Council Act and the areas of responsibility for the council. Arthur Nib said it. Previous speaker said it. Who, let me ask the Barbudans, who has the responsibility for sanitation under the act? The council, not central government. And I want to tell you, I'm not a betting person, but I know that the sanitation issue over there will be fixed by the Gaston Brown administration, because we care about Barbuda and the people of Barbuda. Who has the responsibility to fix the roads in Barbuda? Under the Council Act. Not central government, council. Arthur Nibs told that they have in the act the provisions to collect, to raise and collect. All they do is collect. And they're not even smart with collection. Because with smart with collection, you'd facilitate projects, which mean you collect more so you can spend more on the people and the people's business. Today, they collect over $5 million in the ABST. Biggest money ever collected by the council. And truth be told, it is not ascribed to them under law. It is the Antigua and Barbuda Party administration that allowed them to collect the ABST so that Barbuda can have services, because left to them, they oppose everything. And so I want to say to the people of Barbuda, when you go to the poll on the 26th, I charge you, challenge you, encourage you urge you, beseech you even, to vote for council members who understand what's happening on Barbuda. It's not about blocking Louis Hill project. For council members who are blocking Louis Hill project, let me give you an assignment. How many of them? 6 of them? Is 6 right now? Buy 6 truck and come move block up to Louis Hill to build the houses. Don't block the project. Transport blocks. Be of use. Be of use to Barbuda's development. And so we go to the poll 26th of March. Think about the economy that's emerging in Barbuda and how a council ought to position itself to ensure benefits accrue to Barbudans. And I'll use one example, the airport. Why object to the airport? We came here to open the airport, and the MP for Barbuda, the banner you elected, decided he ain't coming to the opening. But the next day, he was at the same airport taking a flight to come to Antigua. What idiocy. He refused to come to the opening, but he uses airport more than any Barbudan or any 5 Barbudans combined, because he's always on the plane coming to Antigua. But when you go to the polls, think about this emerging economy. Think about the airport as an example. A modern airport, which you now have, requires taxi services, restaurants, rent-a-cars. We are saying that the 5 members of the Labour Party who put themselves up for election on the 26th will lead the charge in ensuring that the opportunities that accrue around the new airport are made available to Barbudans. Think about the build-out of the tourism industry in Barbuda. We are charged in the Labour Party 5 with the responsibility of going to council to make sure that all the support services are owned by Barbudans, because we brought these projects to Barbuda to empower Barbudans. We may not own the hotel, but certainly all the taxis, we can own them. The water sports, we can own them. All of the bouquets that they put in the restaurants and in the hotel, some Barbuda lady or ladies can put themselves together in a group to offer the service to the hotel. What we see before our very eyes is the building out of a major, major tourism sector on Barbuda. And a council totally oblivious of what's happening, rather than positioning Barbudans to benefit. Objecting, objecting, objecting. But one thing I'm objecting to, every gallon of gas sold to the projects is one man get it. Every gallon of gas that's sold, be it PLH, be it the airport, when Louis Hill start to build, if they don't take my off and buy trucks to transport blocks as opposed to blocking, every gallon of diesel, every gallon of gas will be sold by one man on Barbuda. So why does he tell you, don't accept the projects? He reap the benefits. Barbudans, I don't wish to say much more on these matters. All I'm saying to you, election a time when electorate put aside petty, personal, party political positions and embrace national issues. And you cannot deny that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration has done and continues to do justice to Barbuda and the development of this country and its people. Before I leave, I want to just do what I think the Prime Minister wants me to do more than anything else. Call to the fore for a picture moment and certainly official presentation of 5 candidates who present to you this evening as the new hope, the fantastic, fabulous 5, the dynamic 5. And look at them, a combination of age, beauty, experience, you name it. It is just what the doctor orders for Barbuda. There's no denying, and Arthur Nib said it himself, feel sorry free. I don't think he's sorry. I think when you voted Arthur Nib out of office, it's because you bought into the rhetoric that what you see now could never happen. And so I'm saying, let's repair that relationship. Let's show Arthur Nibs that we now respect and recognize his contributions. And as he decided, he mentioned earlier, he wants to leave as he started, with the people. There's no denying that Arthur Nibs in this country in modern Barbuda has no equal. Has absolutely no equal. And to have the name of Arthur Manoa Nibs on council is a plus to Barbuda and its development. A plus to Barbuda's development. To have the name of Bernard Christian, a Barbuda living in Antigua, among the ranks of council after the election, ballots are counted on 26th of March. Certainly the plus of Barbuda. Living in Antigua, he's almost an ambassador. Bernard, where you going now? So-and-so called me, they said something on the ferry. Bernard, where you going now? We go airport to meet so-and-so. Always a Barbudan cause, always a Barbudan interest. And so I'm saying to Barbudans, as chairman of the party, I present Bernard Christian, along with the other four, as being eminently qualified and deserving of your support on March 26th. Comrade D'Souza Makiza. D'Souza. I don't have to say much about her. Her work speaks for her and for itself. The last time you had anything of a semblance of organization in healthcare in Barbuda, she was chair of that sector of council. And so if it worked then, I implore you, let it work again. It needs to work again because healthcare in Barbuda on the council is at an all-time low. We go down the line to Comrade Bonita John, a police officer who was given up, former police officer, who was given up a career that could have gone further, perhaps elevated to the rank of commissioner. But she decides that she wants to come back on the rock, on the soil here, to give of all the training and experience she has to the benefit of Barbuda and its people. You don't refuse that kind of service. You don't tinker with that kind of service. She is quintessentially a Barbudan and one of the best amongst us. I present her to Barbudans, to the electorate, for your consideration and certainly for election on the 26th of March. Comrade Orlando Morris, what do you say about a young man who everybody calls by the moniker, Leave It to Beaver? Leave It to Beaver. It's not me say so. Every Barbudan. Sometimes I pretend to forget his name. The guy don't know his name again. Oh, you teach us, man. You mean Leave It to Beaver? Everybody knows it. And when you hear that phrase be described, or that name ascribed to someone, it tells you as a no-nonsense person, a go-getter, somebody who gets things done. And if we're honest to ourselves today in Barbuda, what we need are people to get things done because the council has failed. Let me ask my 5 comrades, along with our caretaker, Senator Senator Ned Charles, to come to the front of the stage with me. Ask somebody with muscles to help us remove this podium, so we can have a presentation of the Fantastic Five, the 5 members of the party who will make that difference on council election come 26th of March 2025. We make no grandiose promises. All we say to Barbudans, the work you see before your eyes will continue. Give this 5 your support and let us continue the building of Barbuda. The building of Barbuda in that beautiful diamond that Prime Minister Gaston Brown promised. Barbudans, as always, much love and God bless.
That's right. We're getting ready for tree cylinder now, but hey, we're safer with labor. Again, thank you, people. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We have added entertainment as Tree Cylinder get themselves ready. And this is just the first of many, so look out for the entire team before the 26th, where you cast your vote. So I'm going to say some songs, DJ.